Hey everybody, I am Coach Corey with Lazers Soccer. I am here today with Coach Sean Brennan of Mount Olive University. Coach, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. I guess first off, Coach, we met several years ago when you were with UNC Pembroke and also with Fayetteville Soccer Club, correct?
That's right.
And Coach Tyler was playing for you at the time, who coaches for us and also played at UNC Pembroke.
That's right.
So, Coach, where did you get your first coaching job, and how did you get from there to here?
Yeah, so I was a goalkeeper. So naturally in the college game, there are not a lot of goalkeeping coaches.
Right.
So I was really fortunate because there were a lot of openings for me.
Right.
So I started as basically a volunteer at a Methodist, Methodist University for about 6 months or so while I finished my degree. Once I graduated, I actually moved on to Mount Olive, and at that time was Mount Olive College, as the goalkeeping coach and assistant here. I was here for about 2.5 years. Then I was unbelievably fortunate to become the goalkeeping coach and assistant coach at University of North Carolina at Pembroke, UNCP. I was there for a great 6-year run with Phil Heinsohn, who is now the assistant at Winthrop University, D1. And we had some great teams there, and I was able to build my resume. I was promoted to associate head coach there my last 2 years. And then I had the great opportunity to come back here as a head coach, where I'd spent some time previously, and I've been here now for 2 years, so it's been a good run.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Coach. Coach, what is the hardest thing for you in being a college coach, and then what is the most rewarding thing?
Yeah, I think probably the hardest thing is managing people. Rosters are can be large, and everybody needs something different. Every player needs something different. And that is in training. That's also in society as well, and that's also academically. So I think finding those responsibilities and needs for each player can be difficult, and also making sure that you're not leaving anybody out or leaving anyone behind in that process. So that is a big challenge for our staff, and that's a big responsibility on our staff is can we take care of every player, inside of our program, and that is literally from the moment they get up to the moment they go to bed every single day, while they're here for 4 years. So that is kind of a challenge. I think the most rewarding part is something we experienced for the first time this year in a long time, is putting a product together over a very long period of time, and that for me is 2 years, since that's how long I've been here. And it finally all coming together. We had a good year this year. We upset 2 great teams in the quarterfinals and the semifinals. We went all the way to the final for the second time in program history. And I think just seeing the smiles on those guys' faces and watching them celebrate and seeing success just pour out in something that you've worked so hard on to put together, I think it's unbelievable, and it doesn't happen often. So you've got to enjoy the moment.
Got to enjoy it.
Yeah,
I know. In regards to recruiting, which you're probably in recruiting mode, recruiting season now, what are some of the things that you look for in a recruit? Or maybe the attributes that you look for?
Well, we try here to find the all-around player. So first thing we naturally look at is academics. The reason for that is when we package players with scholarship here, so it could be athletic or academic scholarship put together, the higher your grades are, the more money we can give you, which the cheaper the school becomes. So that is literally one of the first things we look at after we identify that you're a good player. For us, we look for players that are clean technically, that have good decision making, and mentally understand the game at a pretty high level, can move off the ball, can identify when to do what properly, which seems simple, but it's not. And then socially as well, we do a lot of background checks. We call coaches. We look at social media because I'm only with the players for roughly 3.5, 4 hours a day. I need to know when I go home at night that they're doing what they need to do here. That's both in the classroom and that's also in the dorms and the apartments. So we look for an all-around player if we can.
And so social media does play a part
in
that in this day and age.
Yes.
It has to, I guess.
It's massive, and we have social media rules with our team
Right.
and what can be posted and what not, and
Right.
that's all the way down to making negative comments about teammates, but also our players have access to a lot of resources here that we don't want other people to see.
Right.
So we can't have those things posted as well. So yeah, social media is a big part. We want to know what you're like as a person.
Right.
Very important.
Interesting. Okay, Coach, in regards to recruiting, what would you say to a player that is, say, at Wake Christian, which is where I coach, and we're a small market, if you will,
Right.
private school, or Lazers soccer, which is also a small club, that small-time player that wants to play in college,
Yeah.
but maybe they're not sure, am I going to get looked at? Do I need to go to public school? What would you say to that player?
You got to do your work. That's the most important thing, because what players don't realize is we're recruiting you, but you also have to recruit us, because there's so many schools and there's so many players. So to find that fit for both of us, we both have to do a lot of work.
Right.
You have to also do your research as well. You've got to know who you are as a person, what you want, and what you don't want is very important. And then I think the best way in small markets, like both of those markets you said, the best way to get yourself seen or identified or even feel out if this is right for you is to find ID camps. They have become a really important tool in recruiting for us, and I know a lot of my other colleagues as well. And it's a good opportunity to see what your level's like against other kids in the areas.
Right.
And then also gives you great exposure, because there's typically maybe 100 kids at one of those and 10 to 12 coaches.
I appreciate your time, Coach Brennan,
problem.
and good luck to you on the recruiting trail
Thank you.
and in the fall season, and go Lazers.